Well, I guess I don't need those anymore. Everybody, welcome back to Ogre Speed Shop. So we got an upgrade for the 1970 GMC, and I just got back from the junkyard, so we're going to show you what I got. What did I get? Can't really see them right now, but I got some seats. You can't get in there. Get the dogs in here, they want to go for a ride, but I got to unload first. So get out of there. Come on, look out. Also got some parts for the K10 as well, and that to help fix the door. So I got a lot of things. This might be out before I even before this video is out, but anyways, that's what I got. I got some seats. This is what I ended up with. These are 2000 to 2006 Chevy Silverado seats, or GMC, whatever. So they got the integrated seat belts, which is a big thing I wanted. So I'm going to do some modifications to the tracks to make them fit, but maybe not. Once we get in here, get an idea, because we don't want to sit up too high. But yeah, I think it's going to make a nice addition. Like I said at one point, I actually worked on a truck out to shop I used to work at Current Auto Performance, that we had a truck that it was a 68 that had these kind of seats in it. They didn't have the center console I want, but I'll be looking for that as well, because they didn't have the one with the cup holders. I want to get the one with the cup holders for obvious reasons. You need cup holders in your truck. But those are the seats, and we're going to get these things put in, cleaned up, and then put in. But I found, the only real damage I saw was a little tear right there, and some cigarette burns here and there, but I'm fine with that. I'm going to vacuum them up, clean them up. Oh yeah, I forgot. They also have lumbar. Check that thing out. If you come across on camera or not, but got lumbar support, which will be awesome. My truck doesn't have that, those ones. So you can see how nice and dirty it is from the good old Oklahoma red dirt. But that's what we're putting in the truck. So we have seat belts, and my wife can stop locking the door so she don't fall out of the truck. One thing's for sure on these is I definitely got to have to figure out a way of lowering them, because as of right now, we're looking at 14 inches from the mounting point. Well, 13 and a half-ish. And in here, top of the seat is 12. And that's a little cramped even for me right now. So that's to the frame, top of the frame that I already have in there. So the frame will probably need to be modified. That's actually only like 10. So we got to trim out like 3 inches or modify those brackets, which I'll probably do anyways. And this stupid freaking tape measure. But so yeah, we got to definitely do some modifications on the bracket, on the seat bracket, and probably the seat brackets here. So the bracket that holds the seat on the truck and the seat brackets themselves. So there's plenty of room up here to trim and weld back together. So we should be able to make it work pretty easily. So on these seats, I've already figured out the first modification I can do to make them, to gain an inch of clearance. And oh, those are bolted in, so that'll make it real easy. But just take these stanchions off. So that's an inch right there, taking those off. And I don't know why that one's bolted, but hey, whatever. I can just use the hole that those are riveted into as the mounting points at that point. So that's easy enough. So that's the first part. Now inside here on the frame, if you look right here, I got about 2 inches of clearance right there that I can drop that down too. And that gives us 3 inches total. All I gotta do is modify the middle there to drop this part down onto that platform right there. So I just went up over the hump on this. But if I drop that down and bring it level with the mounting surface, then that'll give us that much more room. So we might not have to do anything with the braces, with these brackets up here, with the ones on the actual seat that I was afraid we'd have to do. Because I want to make them adjustable, because my wife might want to drive this someday, and she might need to scoot it up a little bit. So I think that's a plan. I got those first 2 brackets off, one on each seat. The rest of them I got to drill out, because they got like rivets type of things. I either grind it down or drill it out. So Get a drill bit out, see if I can get how easily it'll drill. If not, then I'll get the die grinder out and go to town on it with that. All right, so we got the passenger side pretty much done. I got to grind off these ones, and I found a better method of doing it, so it makes it a lot easier. So I was kind of grinding it with that and whatnot, but I ended up finding a drill bit that was actually sharp. And that allowed me to get a starter hole in there, and I just used a unit bit to waller it out and got the other on this side out without damaging any of the holes. So that's pretty nice. So I just got to do 4 more of those things. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but they're coming out. So we'll get those off of there, then we'll get the seat out of the truck. Now that's the seat frame I made for the square body seat. You see it goes all the way across. So if I just, see how the hump is up here? I made it that way for, that to clear that hump. So what I think I can do is if I cut it in this area and bring it down, then that'll drop it another 2 inches. And yeah, I think we better make it work. Let's see how it looks with just that, though. Oh, how'd that get under the freaking frame? Seriously? Be on top of the frame. I'm going to extend the frame out. Because that's around the edge of it. It needs to come this way further. It's definitely going to be way too high. Yep, it's about 2 inches too high. So we got to modify this frame to make it work. This needs to go that way just a little bit. But the cool thing is, check it out. Now we got seat belts. My wife can stop worrying about falling out of the truck. So we need to modify this frame, like I said, and cut it here and go down with it. Basically flatten it right down onto the thing, because we've got plenty of room over here to do that. It has to go that way anyways. So we got to extend that side, cut this side down and drop it down, and then we should be good to go. And then make, mounting points for everything. This needs to go right about there. About 2 inch extension. Center line of the seat. Center line of the steering wheel. So yeah, right there's where it needs to be. Yeah, good dropper. Alright, so now I got the rail completely out. And that's a little too short. So I think 1 inch. So I think that 1 inch bar is going to be perfect to bring this up to where it needs to be. And I do lose a little bit of room this way because of the size. Well, I mean, I can always bring this up and move back that way. So that ain't too bad right there. So I'll just sit a little more upright than I normally do, but that's fine. So I think that 1 inch raise. Now you might ask yourself why I don't just bolt it directly to the floor and make new holes. I don't like doing that. I don't like making new holes. There's already holes here that are reinforced underneath. So why not make a bracket that can bolt to those and then bolt the seats to that bracket. That way everything's removable and you have no new holes. Because these came with a bench seat. That's just the way they are. So when you try to add a bucket seat, it kind of makes it tough to have to not add holes in the middle here someplace. And that's what a frame can do for you. So that's what I'm going to do. Reuse the frame. Whoop. So right now I just got the frame sitting in here so I can mark where the hump's at and know where to cut to go bring it down to the bottom of this mount here. Same thing with this here, because it's the floor part of this. So I'm just going to make a mark so I know where to cut and where the drop's going to be to bring the seat mounts down. And then we'll go through and cut everything off out of the truck. So. I'm gonna maybe block you guys a little bit here. All right, now we got some marks. So I decided just to get a measurement as well. So to the bottom of that, where the curve comes down here to, I think we'll go to the hole. That way we have a standard area. That is 17 3/8. And on this one, 17 3/8. We got 17 1/2 for that one. So 17 3/8, 17 1/2. Let me write that down somewhere. Let's see if the both sides are the same. Yep. And yep. All right, so both sides are the same. So now we can make our mark from the center line of the hole. Maybe I'll mark it up to here, and then we know exactly where to make our cut. So 17 3/8, 17 1/2. So I got all the brackets cut off of the passenger side. I should have started with the driver's side so I could set up my seat, but so now I just got to put new plates here. I'll probably go underneath it so it gets a better weld, but so yeah, just got to do that all over again and then connect the pieces in the middle once we get the other side done. All right, so I'm going to test this thing out, see if it's going to be a good height, or this way we can go up with it more, just can't go down with it. Now you get the dog on the seat. You sit on the seat. I do this without sliding around on here, but it's a pain in the butt. Okay, on the seat, up to the edge here. How are we on that side? All right, we're on the bar. Definitely extend the platform that away, so we have to go that further. You know, put some stuff on there, but let's see how that feels for height. That's pretty good. I like that. So on this side, the seat has to go, yeah, we're off center a little bit, so we need to go this way a little bit with it, which means we extend the platform. So move the whole thing kind of that way, but we got to extend some platforms to mount this to on the actual seat, and then mount it to the floor, and then connect all this stuff so we have one frame that holds everything together. I like it. Center line, so right about there will be the final destination. Cool. How did that affect this area over here? So yeah, we got that's going to stay where it's at. We're going to add on to the other side. So what is that, about 2 inches on the front and inch or so in the front and the rear. Gonna move you for a second. That is, ooh, that's 2 inches, and this is 2.5 inches. No, not quite 2.5. 2 1/4. So we got to add 2.5 inches to the back, 2 1/4 on the front, in order to make a platform over there for the other slider. Cool, got a plan. Sort of. For a nice thick piece of 2-inch angle iron, I found this 1/4 inch, and what it's off of is on the C30 over here. It is what the old winch that I'm throwing out was bolted to. So works really good. I'm probably cutting this whole box out eventually to do an electric winch, but I don't know what I'm gonna do for a setup yet as far as a boom, or I don't know yet. So I still want to keep a pole truck just in case, but I also want to do some kind of wrecker thing, recovery deal. So I don't know. That's for a different video. But for this one, so I found this the leftover from that. So I need 2 of these, and I had 2 of them. So I counted 19 inches, which is the width of the track here for the outside track. The inside track, I'm just going to put a plate because it's going to be on the inside. This is what needs to be extended. So this is going to be fine. And that should hold up just perfectly. So I'm going to cut this down to 1 inch to match the square tubing, so we can weld this directly to that on the end as soon as we figure out where it needs to be welded to. All right, so this kind of want to show you what I'm doing here. So this is the inside track, which is where, this is going to be mounted to. So I'm bringing it out to the end and marking it to the end of the frame right there. I got it lined up with the holes, so it should work out pretty good. And so now I can just take this and weld it directly to the frame underneath there where I made my marks and center it. Then I can move the whole thing out and bolt her in. So that's where we're at right now. As soon as we figure out, well, actually we're good right there because I don't allow it to slide forward still, because we still have room to go forward with it where my wife can drive. And it should give us what we need. I'll probably knock the corners off of it so it's not gonna bash my ankles when I get in the truck. So you can't see the end of the inside frame there, so that's why it seems like it's sticking out, but it's not. There you go. So I can bolt it in up here. Well, it's gonna be kind of tough, because I can't, well, you know what, if I roll the seat forward, I can slide it back in order to bolt the front bolt in, and then slide it all the way forward to put the rear bolt in, and we should be good to go. I think I got it right, unless I'm looking at it backwards, which is possible, but I think I'm good. Got it all set up and flush, ready to weld. Just gonna tack it in a couple places just to hold it in place, and then that way we can test fit, do all that good stuff. I still gotta drill holes for the mounts, figure out where those gotta go, and yeah, so we're getting there. Then we gotta do plates and grind down stuff and clean up all the old welding. Well, that's looking pretty good. See, flush with the inside track, flush with the inside track, so we're good on that. So yeah, I'm liking it. So now I just gotta slide it so I can get to the bolt hole right here, because there's a hole right there on the end. And another one kind of midway up into that. So I need to be able to slide it far enough forward, which I know there's plenty of room in the truck for that. So it's just a matter of going back to unbolt it. But I think with this folded forward, with the seat folded forward, there should be enough to get to that, to slide it back just enough to get to that. So, but we won't know until we trial it out. So let's try it. Let's do it. Something that worked out pretty good. So this bar, this piece of angle iron already had some holes in it. And that one right there, if I can focus here, lined up perfectly with the hole in the track already. So I don't have to drill a hole back there. I can just bolt that one in. Pretty cool. Can you see it goes through? Good enough for me. Just gotta use a washer on the end of it, but no biggie. That's pretty cool. All right, so I got the hole drilled. This one's already good to go. But I think I'm going to do, I think what I want to do, oh, that's like not even lined up at all, is it? I check square. And then I think what I'm going to do is put actually weld nuts to it. So that way it actually bolts down into it rather than a bolt and nut. So it makes it a lot easier to install when the time comes. All right, so I got these bolted in now. I think I'm definitely gonna weld a nut to the bottom of these. So that way it can just be bolted in. And I tacked on another tab over here to get this one attached. Still need one for the front, but I want to test fit it the way it is now to make sure it can slide forward and everything and be bolted in and all that good stuff. So let's do that real quick. Hey, one thing, these things don't get any lighter. Right about there. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. All right, so that's actually slid forward right now. See if I can go back without sliding the whole contraption. All right, so definitely get to the back bolts at that point. Now, if I fold this forward, which I took the handle off, fold this forward, kind of slide it back far enough to get to the front bolt. Judging by the amount of room there is, I'd say it probably won't be an issue. Yep, that is perfect right there. Now I can see how far forward it will move. Yeah, pretty sure my wife can drive that. Right on. All right, so we are good to go right there. Center line, cool. Now I just need to add the plates back to mount it to the truck, the original holes. So the frame can go in and I can do the other side and do the joining pieces on the middle and all that good stuff. But we are set right there. Let me move it back. Just check the fitment for me again. Oh yeah. Even being 6'5", this would be comfortable to drive still, so I'm good. Paddles, yep, we are good to go. I like it. And just to reiterate why I went with these seats, because now I have a seat belt. Voila. Cool. Yes. I like it. Now we're gonna have this big wide open space here. I want to find the center console that goes with this style of seat, but the one that has a drink holder, the cup holder. So that's the only thing I'm missing on that. But we got the driver's seat good to go. Now we just got to attach, a bar across here to attach to this side. When we get that side done, should be pretty easy. I like it. It'll probably be resting on these humps, but good enough. It won't go nowhere. I like it. And if you're wondering why I'm getting out of the truck so weirdly, is because I don't want the thing to pop out on me because it's not bolted down to the truck yet. So that's why. There you have it. One finished side. I still got to tie it together to the other side, so that's why it doesn't have anything on that side. So yeah, I ended up using one of the original brackets for the last mounting point. So that'll work out pretty nice. And so yeah, we're gonna get this mounted in the truck now so we can put the seat in and then we can start on the other side and tie it all together at some point. And there you have it. She is installed. It's solid right now, like it's not even connected to the other side and it's pretty solid. Like I can't move it. It's stuck in there, but let's see how it works. It's about just as tight as getting in with the other one. These trucks aren't exactly big, so when you're 6'5", it's going to be tight getting in no matter what. I could put a tilt steering wheel in, but why? I don't think they're that great. I never changed the one in my truck. It's set to where it's always at. So I know my wife changes it, but whatever. But I mean, there you go. It moves all the way up to here, which is more than enough room for my wife because that puts my stomach into it. So all the way back. And what I like now is I got the lumbar. This little thing that rolls right out for you. And I know it's set it twice now. But now, I have seat belts. So not only am I legal, but I'm safe. So safer. But here we go. That's what we got. Now we got to do the whole thing over again. This took me most of the day to fabricate all this stuff. It should be easier, quicker in the second half, just because I already got it down to where I know what everything's going to be and how to do it. But you know how it goes. You know, that first fabrication you do on something always goes forever, and then you can usually speed it up for the second one. So I'm hoping for on that one. I don't know if I'll get to it today. Right now I'm going to take a break and go watch Puddin's Fab Shop, his Thursday video. It started at noon. I don't know what time it is. It's later than that, probably closer to 3. But anyways, I'm rambling now, so I got a seat with a seatbelt now. It's awesome. All right, so we just repeated the same on this side and got this one mounted up. So the only thing left to do is connect the middle. So worked out pretty nice. So the only thing I noticed is this one sits up higher, even though it's sitting level. So I'm thinking the driver's seat's probably worn out, and this is just got more padding still. So that's the only thing I can think of, unless there's like another adjustment on this thing that raises it up and down, but I don't think there is. But yeah, we got the other seat in now. Like I said, I'm just gonna finish welding the brackets and then connect the middle, and we'll be good to go. New seats in the GMC. Then I gotta find a center console to fill that gap. All right, I think I got it figured out how I'm gonna connect the middle to the ends now. So what I did, because I want it to look good, not just have a straight down piece. If you do a 45, then it leaves too much extra. But if you do two 22.5s, then the pieces actually line up and match. So that's what I'm doing. So I put a 22.5 on here, 22.5 on here, and then made 2 little filler pieces for 22.5. And now it brings this nice little arch in there, and it doesn't just have this weird straight down, or, you know, I don't know. It just looked better to me. So that's what I'm doing. We're gonna get those put in there, get that attached. Well, I'm not attached to that yet. I gotta get everything. I can do this part here. I can get this part here added, and probably that part there added as well. But I want to make sure. I'm actually gonna raise this up off the hump a little bit. But so yeah, I can get these welded on at least tacked on to this. Then I can work the middle piece better along with the other piece. I got to cut angles on all of these, but basically do the same thing. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm making little wedges like this at 22.5 degrees to close that gap, because you know when you cut it out to 45, it opens it up like a 1/4 inch and it doesn't look right. So when you do 22.5, it keeps it to where the pieces line up flush like that. So, and 45, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. It's just math and weird angles and figuring it out to make it look the best. So my dummy butt, in my infinite wisdom, didn't realize, well, I should have realized, when you cut 2 of these to fill the gap and put them together like that, it makes a straight. So I went ahead and made a new piece. Now it's a straight piece rather than 2 pieces. So 1 piece go across now to join those 2, and the gap's a little off because my cutoff saw sucks. I'd love to get me one of those new Evolution ones, you know, that actually has a metal blade, but I still have to go to old fiber style. But it works for now, and I'll just fill the gap with weld. But yeah, so 1 piece is a lot easier than doing multiple pieces. Found that out. All right, so we got that all welded together now. I still got to do some more welding on the plates over here and over there, and finish up the bottom half of those. But I mean, it turned out all right, but you know, getting those angles right and whatnot, whatever. So you won't see it anyways for the most part. And I'll grind down the welds because I really need a new welder, and a new welding machine would be great too. So, you know, if Art Captain or Yes Welder or Miller or anybody is out there watching, hey man, hook me up. I need a new welder. And I'd love to have a sponsor. So, but anyways, Get this thing welded up, painted, and put in for good. Let's go ahead and get this thing painted. We're using some Rust-Oleum satin, 2 times paint and primer. All right, we got her all painted. Let that set up a little bit and then we'll slap her in for good. Get the seats all in there and we'll be done. Dogs wanted to be famous for this one. All right, let's go do after this video on installing the new seats for the truck. And as you can tell, winter has arrived. So if you like this video, leave a like down there. Leave me a comment. Let me know I can do what I can do better. And subscribe while you're at it. Now we got new seats. It's time to go for a drive. With seat belts. First time since I put the truck together. So if you're still here, appreciate you watching till the very end. So until next time, I will see y'all later.